All right, welcome back to what is the last best of 3 for the evening, ladies and gentlemen. This will determine who the second player to escape Group D will be, enjoying cats in the top 8. Spawning here in the bottom left corner of the map from Evil Geniuses, once more we find the blue Protoss HUK.
Never right, as the pink Zerg, it is IVD's Phog.
Alright, so these guys fought each other at the start of the day. I think Phog showed some really good decision making, but at the same time HUK kind of really dedicated to very weird builds and awkward cheeses. If he can pull out another 2-1, I think for me personally that would be a bit of an upset. I really respect Phog. I think he's a great Zerg player, but again, coming into this group stage, HUK and Cats were just like the two names that really stuck out to me.
Yeah, I think it did everyone, honestly. Phog, you know, he didn't exactly play like the cleanest, best games that we've seen in ZVP. It wasn't a stomp.
Well, his ZVZ was messy as hell as well. That's for
well,
sure.
yeah, ZVZ is always messy though. But like, he always stuck on Roach Hydra, and apparently he's just a really, you know, he's a Roach Hydra player, not just in PvZ. But you know, there's definitely better options to conclude those games rather than almost letting it slip by taking worse and worse trades with Roach Hydra, which almost happened in both games. That he won, I think. And, you know, instead moved to Swarm Hosts or moved to Mutas. He moved to Mutas once and then lost them all and they didn't really do a whole lot. But, you know, something else I just Roach Hydra.
Well, Probe doesn't go straight to the third, so we're not going to have that cannon across the way, but we may still have cannons come up behind the mineral lines. He does this in clear view for Phog, and this is a bait, guys. He did this earlier with cannons against Phog as well. Phog may overreact by pulling too many drones, so of course he doesn't know that this is a gateway expand behind it, however.
Well, what's so funny is that this time HUK doesn't do the pylon on the other ledge.
Okay, yeah, but I like what he did there, Phog, real quick. It's a subtle thing that a lot of Zerg players don't do, but I think it's the best way to deal with cannons, guys. And it's if you get there before there's anything to defend that first pylon, the best thing you can do is physically block where the cannons come down by patrol spamming. Making sure that while you're trying to catch the probe, maybe with 1 or 2 drones, you've got the other 2 on patrol, making sure that the probe can't duck back in and slap down a cannon and keep running around in circles. Now, of course, in this instance, it was a fake. Phog didn't know that, but a good reaction without overreacting.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, seriously, like, for the longest time, I think Nurchio is the only player I know of that really did drone patrols for anything, whether it was like the 11 racks or like the early cannons. I mean, you don't see a lot of people do it because it's hard to pull off.
It was hard to decide that was not going to be serious based on the fact the pylon was on the other ledge. But that was something different that HUK didn't do before. Just can't really make the fate of your hatchery just based on that. And of course, you're not going to get lucky with the Baneling all in again. HUK's definitely going to be looking for that.
Yeah.
He did an exact same thing. But HUK, he knows that Phog is probably onto his tricks, at least on this map. If the next map is different, then he'll do something else. I was just going to go for the gateway expand. Totally legit.
Well, got the one Zealot walking across the map. This isn't really going to be crowded out or anything too much pressured, but a Zealot Stalker and a Mothership Core Poke, while kind of the more old school ways to harass, still pretty effective if done correctly.
HUK didn't really get a scout in the main base. He went up there, but he didn't see the gas.
Hey, and he's also not going for a Mothership Core. I simply just assumed that was already finished. So this poke, not really going to be too significant.
No, it's not. I guess the problem right here is that speed actually will finish. It's not going to finish at exactly 6 minutes, but like 6:15. So usually you do this when you like confirm that they're not going to have speed before you can get out with your Stalker, because the Zealot's not really a big deal. But he never confirmed that gas was taken, so the Stalker could very well die just to a couple of speedlings when speed finishes.
Wow, I didn't realize Stalkers have like ADD when they shoot. So just staring at it, I just noticed it shoots like 9 different locations. Like, dude, just focus fire, man. Just focus fire.
He just loses it to no speedling, so...
yeah. Oh, well. Look at the control on a Phog, too. Pulls back the very weak lings to make sure the Zealot wouldn't get the killing blow. Loses nothing for those 2 units. Actually, 1 ling went dead, sorry. But still, really nicely done.
Yeah, yeah. A little misread, I would say, from HUK, not seeing that the gas was taken, so this didn't expect the speed to be finished as fast as it was. And of course, Phog, you know, he got that speed so we can have map control. He's not getting the fastest third possible, but he's getting, you know, almost a safer third. He's going to be able to do a little bit of harassment here at the front, but he's not going to break in.
Actually, I think he might. There's no cannon for the DPS, so, I mean, 1 sentry He's out of energy. There you go. Yeah. I kind of wish he would have focused the forge. Like, he sees the +1 coming. I don't know why that wasn't the focus.
You know what? He will now. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
This other sentry was waiting for the Overlord not to let it scout.
Oh, no! Okay, he's forced back, yeah. I mean, but that's the thing. Like, that pylon going down should have been the forge. I don't know why he went for the focus on the pylon. I guess hoping that the low health would have been better to break through, but well, you get more surface area on the forge, so it goes down faster.
He probably figured that a warp-in was imminent. Right? Like, there's two gateways somewhere else, so he's gonna warp in any time right now. And that's why he took so long to realize, oh, no, you aren't. So maybe, like, making another 10 to 15 lings would have been worth it. Just try and get that forge, but probably not. You can see the warp-ins didn't eventually happen for HUK. And again, we see he's the same build over and over. The Twilight Council for the +2 upgrade. He might actually go into Blink this time, though, with +3 gateways. From a total of 5.
Okay, so I like the sneaky pylon up here. I don't think this is going to be the focus of an attack, but it's like another angle to come in from, which is nice.
Look at that. It's Blink.
Yeah, well, I mean, Blink +3 weapons. That's HUK for you like 9 times out of 10.
He's been getting it a lot more delayed. Like, eventually he would get Blink in every single game we saw, but like he opened with the Stargate, he would open with a Robo. He wasn't opening up with just Blink Stalkers, but now he is. It's going to be able to... one thing he can defend his third with.
Well, third base, we'll see if this gets poked or not. Even if it does, I mean, the Hydra count is just so low. This is really not threatening. Phog is coming across the map with, like, not scary Godzilla like beasts. This is like Teletubbies is what this is.
So, what a good image.
I mean,
this is a weird attack. This is like a really random 5 Hydralisk made at a time where you think he would be droning. Oh well, oh well.
Well, the Zealots being warped in and stacked up right now at the top left. I don't know if he'll wait for the +2 weapons or if he'll just go for the third. Quite frankly, 7 Zealots can focus down most of what's going to be here for the defense. Hydras are okay. Their DPS is really nice, but the hatchery's halfway dead, so you could just possibly focus on the hatchery. That little bit of poke earlier on got nothing done back then, but it set the setting, I suppose, for these Zealots to tear it down now. That's a lot of Zealots. Oh my god. If
he doesn't really play this right, he could lose a lot of Hydralisks to the Zealots.
No, he's on creep though, so it's not like there's
so little Hydralisk though. Like,
but there's no charge.
Yeah, they're doing enough damage. They're not gonna actually get taken too many shots. As you can see, they go down very fast. So the Zealots can reach them. But
yeah,
Phog takes care of it.
Dark Shrine from HUK behind. Difference in HUK's playstyle here. But it's funny, because this is kind of the HUK I'm used to seeing a lot more of, like, when he streams, when he ladders, like, unless more of, like, his tournament play style, but, I don't know, we'll see if the DTs can work.
Wow, this is weird. He's getting 1-1 for his lings, the melee weapons, but he's also getting a very fast hive of 3 bases. What is this gonna, is this really gonna be for Vipers? No, it's gonna be for Ultras? That's really old.
If this is Ultras, I'm actually gonna fall in love with it. Because HUK's not going to stand a chance.
Usually you get 2-2 by the time you get Ultras.
Well, what else do you
got to be for Vipers, right?
Why would you go Vipers blindly, though? There's been no indication that it's going to be Colossus.
HUK's never really been like that heavy on Colossus. There was that one game on Habitation Station where he went Colossus.
The Overlord, hang on, the Overlord sees clearly that this is such a stalker-based army, so... I don't know.
Well, we're gonna see. It's about to finish soon.
Well,
still producing a lot of Hydralisk. Yeah, he's still, putting his upgrades into melee.
Well, let's see. It's got. It's got to be Ultras in my mind. I don't know what else it could be.
That's an old build that can still be fairly effective. I'm pretty sure. Oh, these ETs running by, just no problem.
There's no detection anywhere. Not even an Overseer. Now, more if you want to. He saw the shimmer, so he knows what's up. But HUK's also going to discover this really awkwardly timed hive, and I don't know if he'll start making Immortals right away, because he hasn't confirmed what's coming off of it.
Usually it's Vipers. It's just Vipers are usually off the back of a bigger Roach Hydra army rather than Ling upgrade Hydra army. So I don't know what Phog is trying to do right here.
I like the stance of Ling Hydra though. I mean, maybe it's because Jaedong does it and he does it really well.
I like Ling Hydra too. Ling Hydra into Mutas. Yeah, it's really good.
And especially if you can get fights on creep more so. And Phog certainly has a lot of creep spread on the map, something that you're not usually afforded the opportunity as against a Protoss player.
Yeah, but you don't need a hive to go for Spire. So
well, yeah, I know. That's I'm not talking about the hive anymore. Can we get over the hive, please? I'm just saying. Like,
no, we can't get over the hive.
I like the composition for Phog.
It's Ultras. Yay! All right. So this is an old build. Like you would get the really fast upgrades. It was just like the thing to do in this one dream hack back when not anyone was still playing. You get fast melee upgrades. You get a fast hive, and you would just barely hold on long enough
Well, I think
to get ultras out, and then you get a lot of ultras at a really fast time.
well, ultras are good. Let's not forget they bring one big element to the playing, or to the dinner table. I guess everyone want to phrase it. That's not normally available, and it's the ability to crush force fields. Force fields, more so than Colossus, more so than Blink Stalkers. It's force fields segmenting your Hydras into like groups of 6 at a time. Like that's what kills your army. You know, being forced to fight and slice with these little bits at a time. Ultras will break the force fields, walk through, and suddenly your Hydra army is unhindered.
Here's the bad thing about ultras, though. If you know this build is coming, you can like counter it so hard.
Just get a lot of
Like
Immortals
you
and
just
DTs.
Sim City, Immortals, Archons, you break down that army. The thing is HUK, I don't think he thinks this is it. You know, it's been nothing but fast hives for Vipers. And while he's still getting Colossus, I still think he's under the impression that it's going to be for Vipers. Or maybe he can like Swarm Host with like good upgrades, unless he's been like clicking on the Hydras to see that they're not upgraded.
Okay, so one small thing that's going to play into this, guys. While he doesn't have Immortals, and he's got a couple DTs at his fingertips, Blink Stalkers aren't horrible at dealing with Ultras. Their mobility plus damage versus armored. I mean, he can dance around them, but, I mean, they're going to have to stay away from the Hydralisks, is the problem.
Oh god, yeah. It's got to be, well, now he confirms, hey, those are Ultralisks. And he gets 2 Ultras for free. Well, almost for free.
I guess
One Ultralisk. Oh, the blink forward was the wrong choice. Yeah. Oh my god.
Those Kaiser Blades going to work.
And trapped by the Hydralisk. That was just no Gusta.
I like that he's going towards the main with this though. I mean, like, he knows it's over, but if Phog had not chosen to dedicate to that. Now going to the attack. Phog's element of surprise now gone. We get some Archons warping in. We get really no Immortals in sight.
Jesus.
He's still going for Colossus behind us too. I mean, it makes sense because exactly, like it makes sense to continue the production for it, but these Zealots, they have to hold the line. It's not like can they? It's not will they with a question mark. It's they have to hold the line.
It's an odd composition. Usually it's more link heavy.
Zealots. Oh my god.
Link Ultra more than Hydra Ultra.
26 freaking Zealots. Was he fighting against Marauders here? Jesus. Why would you... I love the hallucinations of the HUK. This is huge because even if he sees these with the Overseers, they'll still be a big buffer.
Oh, the Colossus. Those were the worst abducts ever.
Yeah, he gets a little too greedy with it. He's gonna push Phog back.
Look how many. Look at the vision of Phog. He's like, what the hell? There's so many Archons. I watched this. Overseer
he saw with the Overseer. I mean, it was there for the start of the fight, but that's what I'm saying. Like, even if you see that they're hallucinations, you can't ignore them. They're so big and chunky. It's like having mobile Sim City available.
Dude, I feel like Phog was just like, you know, I'm gonna attack with this army. It's gonna be all good, and then he just gets like smacked.
He had an army that looked like it would, for all intents and purposes, win the game, but HUK with hallucinations, HUK with so many freaking Zealots, like, this shouldn't have been able to hold as well as it did. But HUK, he makes it work.
Cool. He didn't even rely on Sim City, he just pushed it back. Okay, the abducts were terrible. I thought he was gonna use Blinding Cloud more than anything, but I guess the Zealot heavy army, the Blinding Cloud wouldn't have been as effective, but it was just like, no, it's okay.
You know, I'm thinking one thing that would have been fantastic to have going into this would have been maybe some Infestors to pair with this. A couple of...
I was thinking Infestors and, like, Blinding Cloud, but then little Stalkers died.
Well, that's the thing. Blinding Cloud I don't think is such a big deal, but at least the Fungal Growth to hold everything in place for the Ultras to wreck. But, okay, so Phog comes off the back end of this. He has to kind of dedicate to this deck. He's invested so much into it. His plating 3/3 for the melee. His Hydras actually have no weapon upgrades, guys. I was trying to figure out, like, why that was so one-sided. But the Hydras are doing, well, I wouldn't say little damage, but a lot less damage than they should have been.
Are they, they're okay, they're pretty good. Yeah, I don't know if I really enjoy this composition. I mean, usually the Ultras come out really fast, and it's like Ling and a lot of Ultras. Like, I think I only have like 5 or 6 in there. But banking on Hydras for the majority of this game and them being not upgraded, and the Vipers absolutely doing nothing, I felt was inferior. It would be interesting, but HUK just happened to have like the perfect like get out of here army.
I don't know what these guys are waiting for, but I actually really like this. Having the option to come in from a side, having the option to go for some harass, wrap in towards the gold perhaps, while the army responds to these Zealots that he clearly sees coming. The real army of HUK moves on the right side of the map.
Yeah. HUK is on 4 bases, no problem. He's getting a lot of upgrades. In fact, he's getting shields before armor because he has so many Archons.
It's a smart choice. Some blinding clouds going down, but there's nothing to really blind in this army. Only really the immortals get affected by this. Those are some ballsy zealots. Whoa. For honor and glory!
Broken through. That's Phoenix's.
That's Phoenix. Yes.
Whatever.
My life for ire.
This force fields are being like, that wasn't the best idea from HUK ever. Like,
no, but look at this back end. The ultras just wreck everything. All the sentries, all the Templar.
That was really sloppy from HUK.
What?
Like, Jesus.
He got way too greedy with that push. Bottom line,
Yeah,
70
you know what it
lings.
was?
70 Zerglings are maxing out behind this. He gets the gold base for it, but at what cost? He's lost his entire army. These lings are going to flood across the map. The Hydras are still standing, and there's even Ultralists still in play. There's no Immortals. 2 pumping out at a time. There's no Dark Templar. It's Storms and Archons. I mean, this is not going to hold.
I'm more worried about the Hydras right now.
I don't
like,
know.
The Immortals take apart the Ultras really fast, but the Hydralists just will, like, live.
Well, there's going to be a lot of storms.
So many storms. Jesus.
But can't undervaluate these lings. They glance. They got 3-3. Cracklings are always a little bit scary to deal with. Look how fast these zealots are going down, though. Storms aplenty, but despite these this bad weather, we see Phog prevailing through this initial engagement.
They're both losing a lot of supply. HUK is on 4 bases. Phog is on 3. Only a 30
HUK.
Supply difference. The
That was so
warping of
important.
PTs. Oh.
No, but that was so important. He dropped all the changelings right away as soon as he saw the Templar warp, and he knew he was going to get feedback on the Overseer, and he knew how badly he needed that. That was such a good move out of Phog.
Okay, so he does know that the 4th is also there, so that should be actually maybe not his next start. He's gonna go for the throat here, go for the natural, but the natural is just like there's so much SimCity, and like by so much I mean like a few pylons, but still the ultras aren't getting in there.
The lings and the
Hydras.
I think the lings and the Hydras gonna carry this too, though, because it's a lot of immortals that are gonna be up behind this. 2 Colossus being made now, but he's already lost so much.
It's still pretty close.
But look, no,
much.
not even. Look at the bank. Look at the bank of Phog right now.
Oh, that's true. The bank is so high. He can max anything that he wants. HUK is not going to win this game. Oh, attacking in the natural was so bad.
It was really messy. I can't, like, for both players actually, considering how much he lost here on the counterattack. But yeah, HUK moving up here. If there had been a recall or something, all of a sudden you're like, that's not so bad. You know, he gets a sniper tube, gets out of there. But throwing away his whole army like that, Phog double expanding while this is happening too. He's just looking fantastic. We have the Broodlords possibly coming out as a follow-up to this. More Hydralisks were made. It's not difficult to max out on Lings. Even though there's a couple Colossus, Ling Hydra once again kind of falls back into that perfect composition. Okay, maybe not perfect, but really good.
Dude, HUK moving out here. Of course, he feels very pressured to move out, but it's just not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. Unless, like, Storms get the ultimate Storms.
Yeah.
So, nope, Fog's all on top of that.
HUK's got a lot of AoE here, guys. Keep in mind, these Hydras don't have a lot of health. Maybe with a Time Warp or 2. Maybe with a Time Warp or 2. Ugh, that Mothership Core's gonna die, though.
He'll save the Colossus and some of his other units.
That is true. I mean, HUK's still mining. That's the thing. Like, his money's still coming in behind this, but he just doesn't have a lot of production.
Dude, if he had kept any other base alive, he might be okay. But Phog had that really big bank. There's pretty much that really big bank.
The Broodlords.
The Crater Spire Broodlords. It's so.
The Broodlords. He's only making 3, but that's all he needs. There's not enough Blink Stalkers to blink underneath this.
Dude, I'm freaking out over that bad attack by HUK. You know, it was exactly like we see in DDP. The brilliant maneuver where they force fill them off and go into the natural in the main, and HUK just like forgetting that Ultras were in the mix.
Exactly. You know what? I'm freaking out about that Overseer. That was such a big deal because that was the only form of detection of that third. If those 5 DTs had gone unstopped, they would have cleaned up all the Ultras, all the Hydras, and all the Lings. Like, not letting that Overseer, that full energy Overseer, get feedback for Phog, I kind of think was the MVP moment of this game. At least for me.
There's worse combinations of those names, by the way.
I know.
I almost fell into that pit trap.
I mean, for both players, there's a lot of really cool, really bad, really good. I gotta bring more to like that Overlord thing was such a big deal. But chasing down here through the middle of the map, we got some Templar
need anti-air, please, stat.
He's got an Archon.
Please. No, he needs Blink Stalkers. Like 10
look at this! Let's run by!
Oh, this run by is really good. Oh, this DT Warpin's actually equally as good.
Yeah. DTs aren't bad, though.
If you had any anti-air... Well, actually, the Hydras come. They're backing up their buddy Broodlords. No free Broodlords for any amount of Blink Stalkers now.
Alright, well, pushing forward here, this looks like it might be the end of HUK's life. But guys, do keep in mind, this is only game 1 in the rematch between these two. And, I don't know, HUK did some really questionable stuff. This could have really gone his favor.
It was one thing. It was one thing, and you lose your entire army, and then because he lost his entire army and didn't really take any army of his opponent. Like honestly, there was still a big army for Zerg. Usually, if you can trade, you buy enough time to build up your army. It was an immediate counterattack.
Well, GGs are thrown down. Phog will take game number 1. That was a pretty, yeah, I gotta say, like, dumb mistakes aside, that was still a pretty exciting match. We got a lot of action in it. It's a pretty nice back and forth. And no cannon rushes! But as stated before, yeah, before this next one. This is the last best of 3 of the night, guys. Game number 1 now go to Phog, so it leads in his favor. For HUK, his life is on the line. I mean, this is the tournament for Copa America. There's a $15,000 prize pool for this. This is not something you want to lose. And sadly, only one of these players can go through. But Ultra Zim, whoa! This is like the first time we've seen Ultra Zim in God knows how long.
Whoa, bro.
Like, I've been casting for 2 weeks and I don't think I've seen Ultra Zim on any tournament. So Ultra Zim with PVC, guys, as game number 2 between HUK and Phog will be starting up here in a moment. We're just getting all the other casters in the lobby and such. English is ready. Oh, yeah, chat, confirmed. Zombie Group and I have never played StarCraft before. Don't worry about it. I'm effing sure coming. See you guys in a sec. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this last best of 3 of the evening. This is the decider match for the second player to make it out of Group D. I'm Rifkin, tonight been joined by Zombie Group here for Copa America. It's spawning here in the bottom left corner of the map, fighting for his life. 1 game away from defeat. It is Evil Genius's Blue Protoss, HUK.
The top left, as the pink Zerg, it is IVD's Phog.
I gotta tell you, like, whether Phog wins this series or not, just a personal aside to him, because I've seen a lot of Phog's matches, I'm really impressed with how this has been going for him. Every time I've ever cast him, he's always struggled against Protoss. This has never been his strong suit in the past from any game that I've cast of him personally. So, win or lose this actual series, the games thus far out of Phog, I'm really impressed in his personal improvement and his personal growth in this matchup.
I did like that he started mixing it up that last game.
I thought that was really cool. Like, the Ultras were definitely a WTF factor and really cool to see.
It was just the Ultralist, because I really liked that build, the really fast Ultralist that was shown that kind of fell out of favor really fast. But the Hydralisk were the odd part, like the initial 4 that were made at a really random time, and then dedicating so much of them without upgrades, only able to afford really like 4 Ultras instead of 8.
Oh,
I thought that was so weird.
I was thinking what ones you were talking about. You're right, those like random 5 near the Watchtower.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like this though. Phog going for the drone scout. This is actually kind of a big deal against HUK.
Well, yeah. He's also going for this natural at the 3rd base. I think it's a little more important in TVZ because you get the people that make it look like they go after 3 bases because you never scout the in-base natural, but they just do a 2-base all-in. 2-base all-ins really don't exist against Protoss. You do have some people who go for the Baneling Bust. In fact, Phog went for a Baneling Bust. And there's the Speedling all-in.
I've seen some cool Nidus worms, but it's a very few amount of people who can make that happen.
It's really rare.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually this natural being taken as a 3rd being taken as a natural, whatever, is because of what you talk about, and that like it's gonna mine out faster, and you're gonna have this much more secure one not mined out.
Well, I really like that for Phog having taken that there where it is. HUK though, I like that he's going for the hatchery. I like that he's not, or not hatchery, the Nexus rather. I like that he's going to go for this sort of gateway expansion. Alterzium's a hell of a map to play on, because for Zerg players you can run kind of rampant. For HUK though, I don't know, if you get to that death ball, you certainly can safely on this map more than others. It's never easy to deal with, period. I mean, once you get to that unstoppable push, granted sometimes there's the harass that lead up to it, you know, the Immortal Sentry all-ins, whatever the case may be. But if you can get on 3 bases comfortably as a Zerg player, or sorry, as a Protoss player, you're going to have a good time.
I expect to see, especially in these positions, and they both have scouted each other correctly now, Phog is just going to do what he did last series, like Roach Hydra attacks and try to bust HUK's third. If HUK goes for a third. I should see a Stargate raid again. He went for a Stargate on Frost, and maybe it's a really big map thing. So one time he goes for a Stargate.
He did do the Phoenixes, and I really enjoyed what we saw for the Phoenixes, but I mean, it's weird to consider.
That was a weird game, though.
It was.
He just whipped in a couple of zealots and did so much damage.
But that's the thing, like, the thing I find so interesting is HUK's not the guy that I expect to do. Like, you give me any Protoss play I've never seen before, and if he goes Stargate Opener, I tell you, okay, it's going to be Phoenixes into Colossus. We've seen this step 1, 2 out of every single Protoss play in existence. But HUK doesn't typically do that. And it's kind of that weird quote, like, what is the cheesiest thing a cheeser could do but, like, play a macro game? Same kind of logic applies to PvZ. Like, if you never play Standard and your opponent has prepared all these strategies because you've researched HUK ahead of time and you expect him to do anything but this, then maybe it actually works out.
We have HUK with, again, a proxy pylon probe off to the right, chilling with a LabBot 1X. That's what it's called.
Yeah,
so we might be seeing...
This is actually the intro bot from the map intros. He's
I
exploring
see.
the planet. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think it might be the exact same thing as what he did last time. Now, last time we saw this build, it was like 3 Zealots and 3 Phoenixes, like, wrecked Shakti. I don't know why. He just totally unprepared for it. That's probably not going to happen here. HUK might still be able to do damage, just not, like, with so little units, I think.
Well, I think the reason it worked a lot better against Shakti, too, is because Shakti was expecting the 5 Phoenix. I mean, he threw down those double Spore Crawlers.
Yeah,
he put them in the transitions. He was waiting for HUK to come with more air and not ground.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he was totally unprepared for the ground, even if it was only a couple of units, honestly. But I don't know if Phog's really going to fall into that trap. It'd be unlikely for both Zerg players to fall into the same trap.
This is such a bold pylon to put down right underneath the Overlord. I mean, he could have put this by the rocks. He could have put this towards the south. There was no need to do this, but I think HUK wanted to let Phog know something was coming. So Phog immediately throws in Hydra Den because he wants to cover all of his bases. He doesn't know whether it's going to be Zealots warped in through aggression or whether it's Phoenixes, but I mean, he held last game really nicely with the Hydralisk. We'll see if he can do it again.
The Hydras will not be ready, but of course you can buy a lot of time with a lot of Lings. You do note that the Phoenixes really haven't been lifting anything up, and that might be because the Spore Crawlers and the Queens were already in position, but there was, there's like that famous tweet where someone tweeted that if you don't see them picking anything up with Phoenixes, they're going to be following it up with a gateway attack.
Well, the other thing too is, like, if you don't see more than 3 or 4, well, actually it's Scout 4, so I take that back, but alright, Zealots are getting wrecked by the Zerg. At least nice surround going off here out of Phog. For HUK,
yeah, this is not what happened that last game, by the way. Those Zealots did work.
Yeah, I mean, for HUK right now, what he can do is start picking up some of the Queens eventually. You can try and make it happen with 4, but going for the Hydras way better.
Yeah, this is why like Hydras going as fast as possible to Hydralisk can be a bit dangerous, because if they all come out at once, they get picked up.
Well, Phog sending some links for a counterattack across the map. SimCity not quite ready for this just yet. There's a Mothership Core here, granted. Phog
without cannon though, it's not going to be able to do enough DPS.
Well, there's some sentries. He can force field this off. I think he should be able to hold this.
We'll see. I don't know if he really wants to use all those force fields. Oh, he's going to use all the force fields.
He catches quite a few links with that too. About 6 in there in that net.
That Nexus is pretty. It's going to be at below 50%.
But that's okay, because you're not going to have Lings diving through 2 cannons at a potential overcharge later on. It's not the same sort of run by.
It's not the Lings I'm worried about. It's any follow-up attack with Ling Hydra. Although Phog's not actually doing that. He's going to go ahead and turn up a little bit more, probably get a 4th. And what seems to be going into mutas with that Spire.
Yeah. Alright, well, the Phoenix is still doing a bit for us. It's odd to see 4 Phoenix like this, guys. To explain the dynamics of why 5 are so perfect, Phoenixes, of course, do a little bit of bonus damage versus Hydralisk. We all know that. Double damage shoots for 10. 4 Phoenixes all shooting once will do 80 damage. But because you have to use one of them to lift up, that's only 3 Phoenix shooting, and you can't do the one-shot drive-by of the Hydralisks. It also takes away energy from dealing with Queens. It's just a bit odd to see 4. You see 3 because it saves you the money and gas, and you see 5 if you want to actually start killing units more efficiently, I guess. But for HUK to go with 4 is just an odd number to watch.
Pick up
But
his drones. No? Okay.
I was gonna say he's getting quite a few kills with them though, regardless of the count.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. There really wasn't that many Hydralisks pumped out. In fact, those are the only Hydralisks he made were the ones that died. He's going to make at least a few more. But completely disregarding them, goes straight to the Phoenixes. Has this been scouted by HUK? That is the super question of the day. Yes, it has, actually. I'm surprised he's not making more. Phoenixes, that is. There he goes. Corruptors. Corruptors first, Mutas later.
After, yeah. I think it's too many Corruptors.
That's a lot of Corruptors, though.
Well, okay, so here's the idea. If you see mass Phoenixes, you want to have enough Corruptors to one volley down the Phoenix. But
whoa.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have the buffer for this. The idea is, like, you're going to eventually have 13 anyways. It's one of those, like, dessert before dinner things. The problem with doing this is what's going to happen, though, and this with the Zealots coming underneath this. He's so focused on killing these Phoenix that he might not be able to deal with the Zealots on the ground.
I really don't like 13 Corruptors. He used all of his bank that you usually save from Mutas, like 8 Corruptors. That's what you usually see. But yeah, now this is a problem. The entire ground army, and Phog has nothing. Corruptors, that's it.
Oh my god, yeah, he's actually got 33 Lings, but this is against level 1 upgrade Zealots. There's no armor upgrades for these Lings, so they get 2-shot. This is not looking too great. Once the Phoenix or the Mutas come out, maybe this changes a little bit, but
all the sentries get surrounded and taken care of. The Zealots are in the drone line.
This is awkward. He should really segment, like, I think maybe 3 to the natural.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Charge,
though. It will be cleaned up.
Charge, they're making these a little bit more effective than you would normally see. This also buys HUK the time it takes to put down those extra 2 Stargates, to get the Fleet Beacon for Anion Pulse Crystals, to get that anti-air composition, but I don't know. I think double upgrade, like, he's not doing double upgrades. He knocks down the 3rd, or the 4th. Doing way too much damage with these Zealots. Oh, he even kills the 5th, too, without warping. Yikes.
5th, 4th, 3rd drone line, natural, or main drone line, those Zealots did
like,
a lot of...
Yeah, 68 workers died. Oh my god, I didn't even realize 68 workers have died. What's going on? I kind of can't help but feel like HUK should have dedicated more to the Zealots. Like, he didn't know that he could, of course, right? Oh my god, that Hydra did with 2 health! If rather than going for the double Stargates, warping like another 12 Zealots may have actually ended the game.
Maybe. It's certainly crippled Phog, but HUK wasn't exactly... You know, he dedicated a lot. That was his army. The Zealots were his army, and then the Phoenixes that he had were also taken out with the Corruptors. But, you know, problem is that HUK's still on a 3-base economy. Phog really isn't. HUK should be perfectly okay. Honestly, he could have potentially over-dedicated to Phoenixes, but Phog is... I don't want to say stubborn, but he is still going with Mutas, and they're just not going to do a whole lot.
I've seen this work. I mean, Muta Corrupt is
one
really strong.
Muta at a time. No, the problem is that he doesn't have an economy to get like 13 Mutas.
Yeah. If he didn't lose so many drones, this would look way different. But the fact that he's not joining up behind us, Phog, I think, is just in this all-in mentality. Like,
look how many Phoenixes there are.
They have Anion Pulse Crystals, too. For those who don't know what Anion Pulse Crystals does, it lets you outrange the Mutalisks by 3. You outrange the Corruptors by 1. It's pretty devastating.
I guess Phog is hoping that HUK just can't attack, and, you know, just through the process of time, Phog will have a scary enough Muta count.
It took him way too long to drone, I think, though. I mean, he didn't make a single drone for, like, the last 30 seconds. I was talking with Namshur about this. Do you remember the original Phoenix ability from beta?
No, I didn't play Wings of Liberty beta.
There was like it was like an overcharge ability. They basically would shoot like a bajillion shots for like 3 seconds and then couldn't attack for like another 15 or something.
I checked like the Wikipedia like once every few months, and I don't remember seeing that one.
I would have loved to have seen that make it live. It was so cool.
Oh
like,
dear. This is what we're talking about. One spore crawler, not a big deal.
Lifts up everything. This is a massacre, is what this is. And the Mutas can't even respond, because the Mutas respond, they get killed by the Phoenix. He's going to continue gunning Phog. This is HUK's game to lose at this point. He hasn't quite won it yet, because there is that mobile force of anti-air. But, I mean, breaking HUK just doesn't seem like it's in the cards here for poor Phog.
Yeah, once HUK maxes out, he moves out. He's probably gonna win. This infestation pit is probably for infestors just to get that maybe lucky fungal on top of the phoenixes, which could definitely it could help. But I think by then HUK's ground army might be big enough anyways.
I don't know. Like I really want to cheer for Phog in this one, but this is looking. There's no counterattack potential. The zealots are actually gonna hold off these lings.
If he didn't lose so many drones, he could do something. He could, bypass the Phoenix army and go for like a lot of ground army. He could get that money fungal to bring him back into this game, but HUK's ground army is going to be really, really big. It's not going to be contended.
I applaud Phog for going for the right idea. Mutacorruptor, fantastic. Fungal growth on top of it, even better. The downside, though, is that he just doesn't have the money to support what he wants to do. His drone count's getting back to where it was before, but he doesn't have the bases to really mine from. And the Zealot Warpins, they're never going to stop. These are going to be relentless, and yeah,
These corruptors feel so useless. They want to just corrupt the zealots. That's all they can ever do.
They're not even though. Corruption, it's
all
weird. Like 20% damage is really not that much too. Is the sad thing.
A Phog has to get like a miracle fungal, and then HUK has to mess up his not enough archons, which has happened. Phoenix Corruptor fungal or Phoenix Corruptor Muta fungal has gotten people back into games that seemed impossible to win. It's just like mutas can do that.
He keeps wrecking the drone lines though, is what's so scary here. If he had a queen underneath this or something, then maybe the fungal growth works out, right? But there's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna fungal this many phoenixes and engage them with what?
Here's what he does, though. He lets this happen and lets HUK think, like, oh my god, I'm going to win just by killing all his drones. And then he's going to have his mutas in the exact right position when the fungal comes down.
Yeah,
Bait.
Totally.
Bait. Watch it.
But then,
just watch.
No, watch. I'm telling you, there's going to be like 17 fungals going after those phoenixes, and the zealots are just coming from the side. Like,
I know. It's going to be so depressing.
He's going to get, like, the biggest fungal. We're going to be hyping it up.
Unless he actually, I mean, if the mutas get anywhere near the phoenixes, even though they're fungal, mutas go down so fast. There's so many games where the corruptors aren't in play, and it's just mutas versus fungal phoenixes, but the mutas still don't trade well.
I know
it's not gonna happen.
You guys got to consider phoenixes are going to be hitting these things for like 20 damage. Like it's just ridiculous how much these things are going to hit for. Plus they got that range bonus. This is not. I mean, Phog's brought up the army supply. I gotta give him a big applaud. I never thought he'd get back up to an army supply where he could potentially actually fight with HUK. Well, that looks cool.
So that one thing I talked about, like besides the fungal that could really help out, I'm not quite there.
It's missed so many of these fungal growths, though.
The infestors are just running.
But here we go.
Stop. Like this big army. Look at this army, and you didn't even make the mistake of using too many archons or too little archons.
How can you have too little? I was gonna say, how can you have too many archons? You can never have enough archons, is what it feels like. The mutas are gonna clump. The fungal growths are not there. Infested Terrans aren't gonna stand a chance. The base goes down. Phog's economy is just in the gutters. The natural base is the only thing mining, and HUK may lose this initial force at best, but yeah, it's not gonna matter. GG is called, and that evens up the series 1-1.
Ooh, ace match.
Another ace match. I'll take it. We don't get a lot of these in Copa America. It's been a lot of 2-0s through the qualifiers, a lot of 2-0s through some of the group stages. But this is looking pretty awesome as we go to what is the final map, this last game, this third game, HUK versus Phog. One North American shall stand with the rest. But you'll have to wait till after the break to find out who it is. Haha, commercial suckers! Blech. Do you think they're gonna watch the commercials now because I tricked them?
No.
It's like, you guys didn't even see that coming.
I don't think they will.
Welcome back to Copa America, ladies and gentlemen. This is the last game in this last best of 3 to be the last deciding factor here in Group D. If we could take a moment, though, before we get into this, a big round of applause once more to the people at the VIU studio for putting together these awesome map introductions, the out-of-game overlays, and all this awesome, cool graphical stuff. So big shout out to Coyote and his crew and whoever else works on it. For now, though, spawning in the top left corner of the map, he just evened up the series, tied up 1-1. This game decides the group. It is the Blue Protoss from Evil Geniuses, HUK.
Bottom right, as the pink Zerg, it is IVG Phog.
Once again, I gotta give Phog some credit for the way he's been playing today, but this game is truly going to decide who's the better player, who gets through, and who's going to play in Copa America for that $15,000 prize pool. Now, HUK has gone for the Forge Expand. We saw him do the same build, same placement, same everything here on King Sejong Station earlier today. Whether HUK actually gets cannons down or not... Wait, what? He spelled his name out. With the rally for the probe.
Oh, I missed it.
Oh, he just shift-clicked HUK. I love it. I love it. But okay, so cannon potential is going to be there, but there is a pool first. Phog fully aware of the shenanigans of his opponent, not going to take too many chances. And if HUK does put some cannons down, the sooner you get lings out, the sooner you get queens out, the easier of a time you'll have dealing with this. Now,
Yep. You can still do it, though.
Wow, that is some balls is right there. That's what that is.
It might just be a fake. Yeah, it's a fake. He's saving up to Nexus, I think. No? Well, if Phog doesn't take this seriously...
No, it's a fake. He's gonna go,
No? No?
Nope, he isn't. You're right. Just the sound of, I don't understand why, but HUK moved the probe down. I think the idea was...
Phog underreacted. That's it.
Right, yeah, if Phog had brought down the appropriate reaction to this, HUK probably would have slapped down that Nexus right away, but Phog can still cancel the hatchery is kind of the key thing here. HUK put these down too early, so everything here is going to complete before the hatchery, so he can still cancel this and force the quote-unquote wasted minerals on the cannons.
Phog does throw down his third, which is probably going to be his natural. Probably not going to go for the Ling All In. I mean, that Ling All In with the Banelings worked wonders. Like, that was really cool.
Don't complete. It's one cannon?
That is it. No way. Well, with one cannon, he might think that with enough Lings. Actually, I think I like this. I think Phog's going to be able to save it.
Yo, it takes a fast third behind
unless
us,
he comes
HUK.
back in and, like, walls it off. Oh, God, so BM.
He's going to be not happy that this is the case. They got more cannons possibly coming down on the other side of the field, too, on that third.
Oh, where is he sending the Lings? There's only so many Lings that you usually get here, and he's dedicating all of that drone larva into Lings.
You can wall in there. That is disgusting. This is... I don't like this in the slightest. But for a Protoss player, of course, this is a fantastic position to be in. HUK is going to threaten the natural. He's going to threaten the third. Queen is going to die. I don't know why she's getting involved in the fight. She can pick off the pylons without being arranged to the cannons, actually. Not in time, of course, but to clean this up eventually.
The cannon at the third is going to be canceled.
All right.
Pylon was killed. Pylon right here is also going to die, but this hatchery will go down. Oh, the queen pops out in time. You don't see that. No, focus the... No, what are you doing? Focus the hatch. Focus the hatch. Focus the hatch. Come on, let's do it.
Well, at the same time as focus the hatch, I'm screaming like focus the cannons. What are the queens doing chasing that pylon down? That was 100 damage into the pylon that could have gone into the cannon.
The broodlings are going to help clean this up as well, but that was a lot of Lings. That was his hatch. That was a lot of Lings, and he's making 18 Lings right now. He's going to try and counterattack.
Do we have Baneling? No gas. So he's not going to have that Baneling bust potential that we saw out of Phog before. That was a really great move.
His one hope is that like HUK doesn't plug the wall. That would be funny. That would be such good revenge. But they're not even speedlings, so never mind. You didn't even get gas. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, this is...
18 slow Lings not doing anything for another 5 minutes.
Yeah, they really can't is the problem. He does have a hatchery up, though, and he's replacing that really quick to have a third. So Phog can still play out from this, guys. It was a big waste of money for that many Lings, granted, but he didn't know whether... It's so hard to judge what the precise amount you're going to need is. It's the same idea with Corruptors later on, too. You don't know whether you need precisely 11 or 7 or 42 to take down the Colossus, so you always make just a bunch to be safe. Same mentality here with the Lings. So while these aren't the biggest waste of money, you got to consider half of these could have been drones, and that would have been Phog in a much better spot. Either way, though, he stays in this game. He's not out of this yet.
And HUK did indicate something as well. You know, there's pylons. There's a couple of killed pylons that were, you know, should have been canceled. Cannons that didn't quite get up. stuff like that. So Phog, you know, sucks that he lost that natural. Really, really does. But now he has lings that he has to. He doesn't have to build any more lings. Like he has like map control for a while.
I think if there was only one cannon down, he could have focused the forge, and I think that would have been a really good move. But HUK's trying to bait him in here. Phog, don't take the bait, man.
He took the bait. He took the bait hard.
Yeah.
Well, that's only 11 lings now to defend. But at least he's out here. At least he has these outs, and he has to worry about not seeing the zealots move out anyways. And he's starting to drone up. Feels comfortable.
3 more gates coming up behind this. 4 is alright for 2 bases. It's not an all-in. He's going to get that +1 weapon upgrade. If he goes for like 7 gateways, though, that's when this becomes problematic for Phog, who is...
What the... That's a mistake.
Hallucinating. Well, actually, I don't know. Yeah, it's probably
Just
a mistake.
show it,
but...
because why not? Just
right?
be like, messing with your head, bro.
I rushed out a Colossus behind this, and you don't know better because you don't have an overseer.
So funny.
Insert facepalm. Okay, so +1 weapons, gateways. There's potential here if HUK had like the pylon down here to the bottom left, if he had a probe anywhere out on the map, but instead going for the base. So these gateways are more for production and less for aggression, and I'm actually totally fine with that because if he starts banking up a lot of sentries, maybe throws down the robo, we'll see the classic robo or the sentry immortal, but again, that's not really HUK's move. HUK's move is more like the blink stalkers as soon as he can.
Yeah, yeah. If he had been aggressive with these 4 gateways, he probably could have gotten something done as well. But going for the 3rd is, I think, a lot nicer. Like, not in a mean versus, like, just, like, more comfortable way to do it. Because you know they're not going to be aggressive. They're going to be trying to drone up after what happened. And, you know, just lings is not scary. So you're going to be able to get this 3rd really quite easily.
This is, like, not a big deal in this particular instance, but I like the creep spread out of Phog. If he is going to go to Hydra Ling again, then this creep spread does become a big deal. But with the plus range weapon upgrades at the moment, not really sure what tech path he's going to devote too heavily to. I personally...
Maybe just Roach Hydra?
Well, I would love if this was Swarm Host, quite frankly, because I'm a dirty, disgusting person, but...
Don't be like that, bro.
Don't be that guy, not for the ace match.
A friend of
Hydra.
mine on my team told me that Phog is just really a Roach Hydra player.
Yeah, well, he doesn't really do Swarmers a whole lot either. I mean, I was casting the breaking out with Fear Dragon. Fear Dragon's like, Phog's a real Swarmers player. I'm like, okay. I've never seen him do it.
Maybe he tried to like switch it up, and Fear Dragon happened to cast those games, you know?
Yeah, well, no, I'm not trying to call Fear Dragon out on this, but it's more like I'm just sitting here in anticipation, and ever since he said that, I kind of hope to see Swarmhost. I'm like, come on, Phog, show me.
It's probably like he tried it a few times and was like, no, I feel too dirty.
Yeah, I don't want all these free wins. StarCraft is too easy now.
It's too easy. Yeah, no. There's some people like seriously, they're like, it's not fun, and they feel morally wrong about it. I'm not even kidding.
I love that
They just
Snoot
really don't want to go
embraces it.
Swarmhost.
Like every time Snoot wins a game with Swarmhost, he just posts like pictures of money on Twitter afterwards. It's my favorite thing. Between that and like Violet's reactions to Game of Thrones, those are the only reasons I use Twitter.
Clearly.
Seriously, if you guys like Game of Thrones, like every Sunday, go check Violet's Twitter. It's the funniest thing.
Oh my god. Well, it is going to be Hydras, and yeah, it's going to be Roach Hydra. So this is the exact same thing he did that last series. These guys played in the first series of the day, and Phog did take it 2-1. And he took that last game on this map with Roach Hydra. Just barely, though. Just barely. Like, HUK kept pushing it back, and it was looking a little dangerous as Phog was not getting a 5th base.
The +2 weapon timing for this for HUK is a nice time to upgrades. He will in a second, but of course level 3 is that sweet spot. But there's no high ground vision here. I was just getting knocked into rocks. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to try maybe sneak to the main or something. But Pylon's being set up aplenty behind this. He's got lots of warping potential. Roaches and Hydras are going to have a hell of a time versus this many sentries. To Phog, I say good luck.
Don't go down that ramp either. Don't touch the ramp.
Phog's got a really nice supply lead, but the scary thing to consider between 2 time warps, a lot of blinks and force fields.
The ramp.
No touching, no touching.
I don't like this by HUK. What?
He's not blinking. Why is he not blinking?
I don't understand. He's not even blinking. What's going on? Is there like a counterattack? Nope.
I was really expecting to see that, like, you know, that precision where you pull out like one stalker at a time, you keep them alive. That retention leads to like a snowball effect. But
why?
Now he's forced to retreat fully and entirely.
He was on 3 bases. He was getting up to Robo. That wasn't exactly a terrible army to try and defend with either, I feel. Like defending would have been hard, but not impossible. But now it's going to be really hard. He just lost so many units. Touch the ramp.
Down in the C ward. Alright, so we get the infestation pit on the way for Phog behind this. Probably going to be for Hive, and not what I would hope. But a fungal growth wouldn't be too bad either to lock down Blink Stalkers. But will it even get to that point? HUK's warping in a lot of Zealots right now, but he doesn't have charge on them, so connection to the Hydras just seems like it's out of the question.
That's so much army. This hole is already difficult enough with all of your army intact, and you just lost so much of it. HUK's not gonna make it through Copa America, is he?
This blows my mind, because Phog, I love him to death. He's a good player, but he wouldn't be the player I would have imagined to make it out of this group. I called HUK and Cats with confidence before this whole series began. But this is, you're right, it's looking like HUK might be knocked out of Copa America. The Hydras count is going to be so hard to contend with. The Blink Stalkers are not numerous enough. The thing is, Blink Stalkers can take on Hydras, guys, but when you've got an overwhelming amount of them, currently HUK's supply is just not existent. I mean, there's Immortals coming out, but there's no Roaches left at this point.
He lost his Mothership Core in that attack, too. Phog thinking ahead this time as well. Like, getting a Hive. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Base. Gonna go down here for HUK.
Well,
actually,
we totally called this so easily. We were totally wrong. HUK's not gonna make it through.
No, this is an upset in the biggest way, but I mean, at the same time, really happy for Phog. HUK down to less than 70 supply at this point. GG, finally called. Ladies and gentlemen, Phog will be your second finalist, your second contender here out of the group. He will join Cats with some Zerg Brotherhood going into the round of 8 for Copa America. Now, again, I want to stress, we had a lot of good players here today. We had 4 great contestants here in Group D. In fact, let's go take a look at them real quick before... Oops, no, there we go. Shakti and HUK sadly knocked out of Copa America, knocked out of Group D, but Phog and Cats will persevere. They will join the likes of Major and Jon Snow from Group A, for Cham and Ruff in Group B, and B-Lord and Jim Rising in Group C. And you know what, Zombie Grub? Hold the phone. This is the sexiest looking round of 8 I've ever seen. You know why?
Because there's Terrans?
It's all Terrans and Zergs, baby. Nothing against Protoss, guys,
but
Protoss? I just love my TVZs. I love my TVZs.
Please buff David Kim, please.
Yeah, right? It's Copa America, like the one region of the world where Protoss doesn't prevail. But no, realistically, congratulations to all those players who have made it out of their group stages here. Now,